Happy Saturday evening, everyone. Tonight, in Season 2, Episode 2 of What is My Story Today, we will talk about what do we get in speaking our mind. So, I have invited a good friend of mine and who is also a newly promoted consulting manager in SGB and Company, Louel, Hubay, to talk about the topic. But before that, let me thank our dear sponsor for tonight's episode, Mr. Right Style Fragrances. Without further ado, let me invite our dear guest of honor for tonight's episode. Hi, Louel. Can you hear me? Oh, wait lang. Louel? Wait. For a while, I think your signal is not. Oh, I think he got dropped. Let me invite Lowell again. Lowell,
Hi,
hello.
hello. Hello
Can you
po.
hear me?
Yes.
Okay, for a while. Let me know if ever the line is breaking on my end kasi para maulit ko yung question later.
Sure, sure.
Okay. Anyway, Luel, thank you so much again for accepting my invitation to talk about the topic on what do we get in speaking our mind, no? Yeah, wait lang. Okay. Anyway, so are you ready, Luel?
Ready na siguro.
Okay, sige. Anyway, the first question always now to my guests would be, how are you today, Luel?
I'm good. I'm good. So I feel relaxed today because actually I'm in my house right now. So in our farm. So it's really relaxing here. So yung makikita mo lang is mga trees, mga ganon. Then with my pet. So yun. Such a relaxing day.
Yeah, it is such a reviving feeling not to be in the farm. Just breathing in fresh air, eating fresh food also, and being with your family also. Are you with your family there?
Yeah, so it's like a sort of a family bonding. So, kasi yung kapatid ko rin isa, so parang umuwi siya so from the city, so umuwi siya dito. So parang dito kami nag-lunch, dito kami nag-dinner. So yun.
Nice.
So yan, parang nag-ano lang dito. Na naiwan yung bahay namin sa highway. Dito kami lahat sa farm. So relax, relax.
Okay, but where do you usually work from home? There or in your other house?
Usually, lately, so dito na ako sa sa house ko sa farm. So dito na ako nag-work from home.
Okay, nice, nice. At least you have a choice, no? Kung ano yung mas suitable for you on a given certain day, no? Anyway, sige, here's the first question, Noel. Aside from checking on you, how are you? No? How are you doing? So, perhaps let me know or tell me a time now when, I mean, the first time that you actually have spoken your mind at at a significant event in your life. Or, yeah, just tell me something about it.
So I think I first did that when I was I think in my first job. So actually, so before, so right in college, so or I wasn't. I'm really a shy individual, so I don't really speak
Okay.
my mind. So I'm a reserved individual. So uh, I always maybe kept to myself the words I want to say, so what's on my mind. But when I graduated, so when I started working, so I think it was in my first job. So I think I was
Mhm.
at that time I was upset with something. So what I did was to speak what's on my mind. So what what should be done to say resolve something that resolve something that is wrong in the process. So
Okay.
what I have to voice out what's really on my mind at that time. So to be able to resolve the problem that we've encountered at that specific period.
Okay. So when the time that you were still shy, I mean, it depends naman on the occasion or the situation, di ba? That people become shy naman talaga sometimes. But do you think, Luel, perhaps by being silent, do people still speak their mind even though people are silent, don't say a lot of words or whatnot? So what do you think about it?
Maybe I think they can still speak their mind through their actions. So doesn't for
Okay.
me doesn't really mean that should be just through your voice or by speaking, but you can show it by just the way you act, the way you move, or the way you interact with others.
Uh-huh. But how do you feel about that, if ever, way before, when you were still shy and silent? So how did it
Uh,
affect your relationship with other people?
I think it's difficult if you're unable to speak your mind. If
Mhm.
you just show it just by your actions, because people might misinterpret it and people would maybe misjudge you. So it's really
Mhm.
better to just speak it out. Just be careful in your approach. So
Mhm. So, di ba, let's say, most of us naman, actually, based on research or survey before, the number one fear of people, other than death, is actually public speaking.
yeah.
So, for you, when was the time that you really had to speak in front of a public? And how did you feel about it?
So based on what I've said earlier also, so it's kind of connected. So since I'm shy, so I'm also an introvert. So before, so I really don't like public interaction or social
Uh-huh.
events, something like that. So with crowded or with lots of people. So before, so I didn't really do that. So I think it all started when uh, everything started when I had my first job. So I started to speak
Okay, so the,
in front of my people. So I have to because I'm a supervisor. So for that specific job, so I really have to step up. So to be confident
mhm.
and speak out in public.
Nice, nice. But was there a time that you, even though people would require you to speak in public, was there a time that you don't really want to share your thoughts or whatnot?
Sorry, Bon. I just wasn't able to hear that
Ah,
clearly.
sorry. So was there a time in your life that even though people would require you to, let's say, share your thoughts, you don't just feel of sharing the same?
Yeah. So even though kind of uh, used to it now, but there are times I'm still not really that confident to share my thoughts or what. So
Mhm.
I still I don't know. Um, I don't know the right term, but parang reserved. So parang may ganun pa rin.
Uh, okay. But do you think, Lowell, by doing that, thinking that, let's say, you would still, I don't know, let your personality prevail, no, over a requirement or so. So do you think, have you ever hurt someone's feeling if ever you don't get to, let's say, fulfill what they want you to do?
I think they won't be fulfilled in that case. So if I wasn't able to do what they wanted me to do, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
might be upsetting from their part or what. You'll never know what
Okay.
they'll feel. So
Okay. But in speaking your mind, have you ever hurt someone by
yeah, I
speaking
think
your mind?
yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of people already because kind of so over time I've developed myself to really speak my mind. So unlike before that I I feel really reserved, what so I just don't mind. So I just keep it to myself. What's on my mind? What's my thought about things? But now, so over the years, so I've developed myself. So usually speak my mind. So on behalf of my people, on behalf of my team.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's part of it that sometimes people get hurt with with the words you say because you just wanted to get the message across. So you just want them to understand what you're feeling or what
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so what brings you in your mind at that moment.
Okay, okay. Yeah. But for yourself naman, Noel, how do you feel when someone don't agree with your idea or insight?
In that case, I think I usually reassess. So uh, if what I said was right, and then check with
Mm-hmm.
what he answered. Then so kind of reassess and then think it over and then so decide whether to go on with the discussion or what, or just agree with it with the other side.
Okay, okay. So now, Louel, I'd like to ask you, when was the time that you have to speak your mind based on number one, based on facts, number two, based on your own interpretation, and the number three, based on your own truth of what's happening. So let's start with based on facts. When is the time that you had to say something based on facts?
It's kind of a difficult question. Oh no. Nakakalikot.
Number
Baka makita. Come on. It's on the box. Parang ang daming situation. So mostly, since we are parang doing diba, client engagements, so ganun. So actually,
mhm.
I did that. So I presented the facts. So I've discussed. I told them that I just don't think, I just don't want to name the other side. So
Yeah, no, no, no,
I
no name
presented
dropping.
I presented them that here's what you said to us. This is what was agreed beforehand before
Mm-hmm.
we did this project. So before we say deploy this project, and then so I just told them that everything that was agreed beforehand. So they kind of agreed with what I've said. So actually, they said they're sorry for that because I was able to prove there was no agreement beforehand, before the scaffold and everything.
Yeah. Okay, how about based on your own interpretation? So when is that time that you have to say something based on your own interpretation?
Based on my own interpretation. I think it's still related with our project, our project. Uh, the usual thing. So say so the software provider would argue that is not doable. So what we
Mm.
are suggesting is not doable. So I would say that so based on my understanding or based on my interpretation, it can be done because it was we were able to deliver this kind of maybe changes or setup beforehand. So I was able to experience it
Mm.
in some say functions or what. So I'd say that it is also it's also achievable in this function or in this part.
Okay, okay. How about if based on your own truth? Let's say it's based on your values, your work ethics, your principles. So when is that time that you have to say something based on your own truth?
Mm.
Napapaisip.
Napapaisip ako sa mga tanong parang ano.
Take your time lang.
Parang ang hirap Mostly. Ano ba? Grabe, parang wala akong maisip. Sa sobrang dami siguro, parang wala akong maisip.
Yeah,
My
actually.
own truth. Ano ba? Di ko alam. Ewan, wala akong maisip na ano, parang based on my own truth. Basta wala akong maisip ngayon. Feel ko naman may mga naano na ako sa
But
based on my own truth. Pero
I
parang
think
wala akong
perhaps
maisip.
if you oh yeah, but I think perhaps if you say something based on facts and your own interpretation, so I think parang ano din siya, no? It's also based on your values, your principles, no? Parang sa mga interconnected na rin siya siguro. Do you think? What do you think?
Parang somehow connected na rin. Kasi parang ano,
No?
o nag-i-interrelate na lang sila.
Yeah. That's fine, that's fine. But, sige. You want to say something, Noel?
Wala, parang nag-iisip na ako.
Oh, sige, ito na lang. Follow-up question on that. So of everything or of all the things that you've said, no, or have spoken to someone or to an event or situation, was there a time that you were still, I don't know, able to question what you have thought of or spoken?
Yeah, actually, even though I'd say that I'm confident with what I've said, so kasi parang I
Mm.
don't usually parang barge in na lang diretso on a matter without parang checking
Mm.
on facts, uh, assuring that everything's accurate. So,
Mm.
pero after that, so after saying things, I usually question what I did, what the things that I did. So I feel guilty afterwards. Actually, I don't know why I feel like that all the time.
Yeah. So, Noel, how do you acknowledge something that you have said by mistake? Was there a time that you have done so? Kasi minsan, if we question what we have thought of or spoken to someone, kumbaga, it might be because we were driven by emotion, by our aggression talaga. Pero yun, was there a time that you admittedly said something, I mean, you acknowledge that you admitted something, or no, wrong. You have acknowledged something that you have said by mistake.
I think, yeah, I said my sorry, but not because of what I said. I said sorry because of my emotion. So I
Uh,
don't usually say sorry because of what I've said to
of what you
people
said, no?
because I think I really mean to say that. So just that
Yeah, during that time, no, that you were at the height of your emotion.
so even though maybe kahit siguro hindi ako emotional at that time, feel ko ganun pa rin yung sasabihin ko kasi parang yun yung tama. Then
Mm.
yung lang magsasorry lang ako dahil sa emotion kasi parang sobrang siguro medyo insulting yung mga words, so baka masyadong sharp lang, so masakit din sa part nila. Baka din, iba na yung pag-intindi nila, baka sabi nila galit na galit ka talaga sa kanila, which is hindi naman. Minsan, galit ka lang sa nangyari. Hindi ka galit sa mismong
Yeah,
tao.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
galit ka lang sa mga
Yeah,
pangyayari.
true. Uh, Okay. So, Louel, by experiencing that one, are you still afraid of losing people in your life
No.
given those situations?
Sumagot agad. Sorry.
Bilis magsabi ko.
Sorry.
Okay, why? Why do you think so, Louel?
Wala. Kung wala. Kasi ngayon talaga parang medyo wala na akong pake. So, kung ayaw sa akin sa mga sinasabi ko, okay, fine.
Ah.
I'm not born to impress people. So, wala akong pake kung ayaw, kung mga pinagsasabi na, okay, fine, go. Kasi parang sa akin, wala. Gusto ko lang maging masaya dito sa buhay. Ayoko ng
Hmm.
ano.
Okay, so by achieving happiness, Louel, so what are these words that you try to just speak within your circle, within your work, or within the people you meet every day? So, are there certain words that you try to just filter to be spoken for you to, kasi what comes out of our mouths now is something that we have in our hearts. So, what
Mm,
are these words that you uh, try to speak, no, or try to use in your language that makes that makes you happy?
so, for me, siguro, I try not to be too personal. So, kunwari, when I speak my mind, so
Mm.
dapat, ano, limit to ano talaga. Dapat parang professional pa rin.
Yeah, yeah.
Avoid siguro words na ano uh, medyo sound bullying na. So dapat hindi yan masama sa mga ano mo para whenever you speak your mind or when you speak the truth.
Mm.
Parang limit the things you say parang to the content or the context.
Mm.
Parang dapat may nahaluan ng mga personal baka naman halo-halo na so wala personalan na yun hindi talaga.
Trabaho lang. Wait lang, I remember something. But anyway, wait lang, let's not talk about anything specific. Yeah, but
Buwan talaga.
baka mapapahama,
Parang
baka
controversial
mapapahama
topic.
pa. Ano tayo dito?
Ako pa talaga
Anyway, I'm just kidding.
ako pa talaga
Uh,
sumakot sa topic na ito.
Pinagpawisan ako.
Namumula na ako.
Anyway, sige, let's talk now, Noel, let's talk about feedback naman. Kasi di ba, when you provide a feedback to someone, so how do you try to draft your thoughts muna before even telling it to the person?
Usually pag ano talaga direct feedback so yung parang ano
Mm.
ba oral feedback oral ba tawag doon or
Mm.
parang
Verbal. Yeah, yeah.
verbal feedback direct talaga so parang wala na akong kung kunwari mali yung mo yan sasabihin ko talaga diretso na walang sasabihin ko hindi dahil sasabihin ko sa kanya
Ah.
sasabihin ko siya after na dahil sa trabaho lang yan wala akong parang hindi ako galit sa iyo parang gusto ko lang ayusin yung pagkagawa ng ganito ganyan parang ganyan
Mm.
pag ganyan pag verbal feedback pag naman kasi mas gusto ko rin ng ganun kasi parang sobrang automatic parang walang halong biro walang halong
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
walang
Oh.
tago-tago, parang diretso. So, at least alam ng tao kung ano talaga i-correct niya. Parang okay lang din sa akin na bigyan ako ng ganong feedback eh. Kasi at least, nasa sa'yo yun, sa receiver din ng feedback kung
Uh-huh.
paano ka mag-react eh. Kung magagalit ka, problema mo na yun. Kung magagalit ka, paano ka matututo kung
Mm.
magagalit ka sa mag-feedback sa'yo? Kung alam mo naman talagang pagkukulang mo yun or may mali ka. Unless mali lang talaga
Mm.
yung nasabi ng tao, hindi naman talaga totoo. So, may karapatan ka rin magalit.
Mm.
Pero pag written feedback naman, so parang ganun din naman. So parang inisa-isa ko rin
Mm.
yung niya. Kunwari yung mga things that he needs to improve on. And then parang wala, lang.
Mm-hmm.
Medyo
Yeah, yeah.
direct din. So
But
medyo direct ako parang hindi
uh,
paikot-ikot. Ayaw ko na paikot-ikot.
no playing around the bush, no? Parang
Mm.
tell us as you wanted to.
Mm.
Okay, so Louel, kanina earlier, di ba, I asked you if have you ever hurt someone's feeling by speaking your mind. So now let me ask you, what was the feedback that you have received that actually hurt you?
Um, baka makita ko. Joke. Ano ba? Yung nakakaiyak. yung parang hurt talaga ko na feedback given to me is yung parang sasabihin na hindi ka ramdam or hindi ka
Uh,
nararamdaman. Medyo sobrang masakit yun. Kasi parang, ha? Totoo ba? So I think I was able to deliver
mm,
what is expected of me. Pero kung dapat sana, sinabihan mo na ako beforehand na ito pala yung expectation mo. So
mm,
para, ano naman,
yes.
parang i-meet ko yung expectations mo. Kasi parang kung magkaiba yung expectations natin, so hindi talaga tayo mag-meet at the
Mm,
end. So, yun, parang masabihan ka na ah ganun. Ano talaga siya, sobrang parang painful. Parang
yeah, yeah.
nakaka-demoralized.
Actually. So ano naman yung feedback that has actually been given to you na made the person that you are right now? So meaning to say it has helped you become better.
Hmm, I think yung nag-flip talaga ng ano ko, confidence. So I think yung sa first job ko talaga kasi sa sinabi ko nga kanina, parang sobrang introvert ako. So I hate crowds, I hate people. So during college, parang takot na takot ako sa tao, parang ganon,
Mm.
mga ganon. So parang dahil sa binigay na feedback ng ano ko, parang sinasabihan kasi ako ng parang manager ko dati. So in my first job na,
Mm.
parang sobrang galing mo naman. parang,
Mm.
parang puring-puri niya ako, parang nalulunod ako sa puri doon kasi parang sa parang niya, parang ang galing mo naman, parang ang talino, parang turuan mo naman yung ano, parang iba, parang gano'n, parang trained din naman, parang to be like you, parang wow, parang nag-up yung confidence level ko at that time, parang sobrang nag-boost talaga kasi parang naging startup na parang natuto akong maging confident,
Mm.
magsalita sa harap ng tao, parang mas mag-interact, ganun. So parang doon talaga nag-develop. Kasi parang my manager trusted me talaga, parang super, yung trust na binigay niya, parang ano talaga, ramdam na ramdam
Mhm.
mo. Tapos parang tayo talaga siya
Mhm.
mag-feedback. Tapos parang, ni minsan parang hindi talaga ako, parang once na ata naka-receive ng medyo pangit na feedback, pero okay lang yun. Parang for growth din naman yun kasi parang more than an image naman yung feedback niya doon na ano, pangit. Pero okay lang naman. Kasi natuto din naman ako kung tama din naman yung sinabi niya.
Mm.
So it's really
Yeah,
up to
nice.
you
Nice.
talaga on how you parang ano, uh, assess or parang absorb yung feedback.
Nice, nice. So earlier, Luel, you mentioned, di ba, that you're not afraid to lose people in your life by speaking your mind. So now let's think the other way around. So when speaking your mind, when was the time that you actually gained a following, or I mean, you have shared an influence to this group of people or to certain people that you don't even know, but actually has agreed with what you have said or spoke.
Hmm. Napapaisip ko tayo sa mga tanong dito. When was that?
Isingit natin yung YouTube channel mo. So,
Siguro doon din. So parang mostly ano project related. So ganun. So
yeah, yeah, project
yun nga,
related.
parang ano, I speak my mind talaga. I say what I needed to say. So parang in a project, I really voice out my opinion about things. Kung
Mm.
mali talaga, hindi ko talaga ano. Kaya parang sa akin parang nagugustuhan ako dun dahil sa approach ko niya or parang sa approach na tawag doon or sa O parang nagugustuhan din naman ng tao na gano'n, parang ano, kasi parang hindi ka nagdadalawang isip na sabihin yung mga bagay-bagay.
Yeah.
Kasi parang for the improvement din naman yung project, yung bagay, and how we work then. So hindi lang din naman, basta gusto ko lang maragdagulahan sa mga tao na ano. Wala. Mostly naman pag ano project talaga related. So, or parang more on parang how to improve things. Parang ganun.
Mm.
Hindi naman dahil gusto ko lang. Gusto ko lang may masabi.
May But no, Louel, let's talk about your YouTube channel. So how do you use that platform to speak your mind? How do you use your YouTube channel?
Siguro, yung YouTube channel ko, feel ko wala naman. Parang, hindi. Siguro, more on speaking my mind in terms of passion naman siguro. Kasi, channel ko is more on volleyball related, so which is I'm a fan of. So parang napapakita ko lang din yung love for volleyball, love for the sport, and then as well as yung love for the arts or parang yung design process kasi parang andun din yung mga nag-design ko ng bahay, so parang nag-design din ako. So,
Yeah. Actually, nakita ko nga doon.
So parang nakikita na rin ng mga tao kung ano yung nasa isip ko. So parang ano yung mga gusto kong gawin. So then, yeah, parang ganun.
Mm-hmm. So what's your long-term goal for that, Louel? How do you envision your YouTube channel to be in the future of what you're putting in as content?
Actually, so yung channel, I envision it to be talaga, parang focus on volleyball talaga kasi that's how it started naman talaga. Kasi parang yung iba gala-gala, parang sinama na lang talaga. So parang kasi nga I'm a fan, so parang gusto ko talaga volleyball sana talaga yung focus niya. Tapos marami din yung viewings din sa volleyball. So parang fans alike parang watch talaga tapos appreciate what I do kasi parang I take videos, I watch live and then parang tinatry ko talagang mag-video parang 'di ba ilang oras yung games tapos ano lang yung phone mo kasi kino-confiscate din yung mga tripod whatever you have. So parang kamay lang talaga, so effort talaga, so parang tas appreciation lang ng mga other fans, parang nakakatuwa na rin. So yan. Then parang gusto ko nga sana dapat i-separate nga yung parang yung mga house designs, parang ganun, parang ibang YouTube channel dapat. Pero hindi na ako magkaugaga sa isang channel. Paano pa yung maraming channel? Nag-envision
Well,
pa
actually,
maraming channel.
I mean, it's also good to share a part of your life on that platform. Kasi it has been your passion naman ever since to share your stories and the likes. But now, Noel, let me ask you, perhaps we can insert some topics about faith and the likes. How do you actually speak your mind and apply God's word in your daily living or interactions with people also?
Daily interactions with people. Kaya siguro, usually kasi parang people view me as parang ang tawag dito, pilosopo. Usually kasi parang, yan, ganyan talaga yung kahit nga dito sa bahay. So, parang that's how my parents brand me, parang my mother brands me as pilosopo. Kasi parang, dire-diretso ko talaga na parang, ito, yan, ganyan lang ka-simple, bakit ba, parang ganyan kasi. Parang kaya sinasabihan ako ng kapatid ko rin, sobrang pilosopo, sobrang grabe. Kasi direct talaga ako ayaw ko nung parang parang yung magsalita na ganito, ganyan, parang dinidiretso ko talaga na parang walang kapreno-preno na. Parang sinasabihan na ako, pilosopo talaga. Pero yung pero alam naman nila ganun ako. Pero kahit naman yung mga high school friends ko, high school classmates, parang kilala na talaga nila ako na ganun. Parang kasi ganun talaga siya. Grabe, ganun pa rin talaga. Parang talaga na parang voice out na parang sobrang direct na Kaya parang medyo, bahala kayo kung ano talaga kung
Mhm.
Kung ano sa inyo, kung nasaktan kayo doon, basta parang I'm trying to say, walang, kung ano nasa utak ko, wala. Ganun. Ganun talaga, direct talaga na walang ka, ano, ka-pray na pray.
Mhm. Mhm. But Luel, I'm just interested to know also. Even before you speak your mind, do you even think of praying first? Or kasi minsan, di ba, if we want to deliver something difficult or we want to deliver a speech or whatnot or preside a meeting. So how do you begin a certain let's say speech or an event or a discussion by means of also involving God within the picture.
Mm.
So how do you do that?
What I usually do is parang ano lang, hindi, not necessarily as parang nagpe-pray talaga na parang ano lang,
Mm.
parang yung mga help me Lord, parang gumagana ako, help me Lord, then help me get through this, parang okay lang, sana maging okay lang ito lahat,
Mm.
wala lang mga aberya, sana magawa ko ito ng maayos, ganun, ma-present ko ito ng maayos, parang ganun, no. Pinagagahan ko lang sa utak mo na parang ganun,
Yeah,
ganun
yeah.
lang iniisip
So
ko.
how does it help you a lot if you do that? Versus if let's say there are instances that you forgot to pray and then something turned out different way.
Yeah, it helps naman. It helps talaga kasi parang ano din parang guidance. So, kunwari magte-take ka rin ng mga exams, di ba? So, parang you ask for guidance, na parang pumasa ka
Mm.
dito. And it helps talaga. It eases, the nerves. Or parang nare-relax
Yeah,
ka.
yeah, actually. Kasi ako actually napansin ko din 'yan. There are times I had an experience before that I led a training and then I was prepared. I studied the leader guide and all. And then eventually I forgot to pray before I taught the lesson. And then ang kalat ko sa buong day na yun. Parang ang disorganized na parang I-realize nga nga no, iba talaga yung effect if you pray first before
Mm.
you even conduct an event, activity, or a discussion. So, ayun. Perhaps I also want to know, di ba, earlier, I also asked you about what if, you were able to hurt someone's feeling. So, after that, incident, let's say that you've hurt already someone, how do you connect with the Lord if ever you've hurt someone's feeling?
So, actually, so right away, so parang after nga, siguro a few hours, parang, parang nagsusorry na ako para doon. Sorry talaga, parang, nasabi ko yun, mga ganyan bagay, but I had to.
Uh,
Pero, yeah, parang sorry-sorry din ako. Tapos parang guilty din ako niyan. So parang super, hindi, naiisip ko siya ng gabi na kahit parang, kunwari,
uh,
nasabi ko yun mga nakaraang taon pa, naaalala ko.
uh,
Ganun ako parang ma-guilty sa mga, minsan feel ko na may na-hurt ako na tao. So parang, grabe, inaabot ng mga taon-taon, nare-remember ko pa rin yung biglang papasok
oh
yung
no.
mga gabi na naisip ko. Sorry talaga sa kanya. Sana naman hindi siya.
Yeah.
Ganun lang.
So how often ba do you talk to God, Louel? If you have something in mind or if you're foreseeing an event or foreseeing something to happen, so how does your relationship with the Lord occur in
Um,
your mind?
Usual naman, tapos parang hindi lang ako nagsasalita, parang nasa isip lang. Parang kunwari, happy lang, kunwari
Mm.
minsan naglalakad lang ako dito sa farm. Tapos titingin lang ako sa bahay ko, parang, ay, parang thank you Lord.
Oh
Maya ako,
no,
parang maya ako, parang sobrang
true,
natutuwa ako.
true.
Sobrang lang, parang I was able to achieve this despite the struggles, parang sobrang hirap ng napagdaanan ko rin. So, I'm not discounting naman the other people, pero parang sa sobrang hirap din talaga na napagdaanan ko with all the challenges. Parang kumbaga, tapos nag-COVID pa last year, tapos yun nga, no,
Mm.
nagawa ko to parang house ko. Parang I'm always thankful talaga, parang always na lang na parang. Tapos parang I feel blessed na parang kahit na nandito tayo sa sitwasyon na to, parang ang dami pa rin blessings. Kumbaga yung promotion and other things. Tapos safe pa rin yung family ko, immediate family. Kaya parang ano lang, parang I say thanks lang, parang out, sa isip ko lang, parang, hi, thank you po talaga. Thank you sa ano, parang, for keeping us safe and then for
Yeah.
giving us the blessings, parang ganun. Na we receive, and which, parang yung ano pa lang, we will receive pa lang. Pinapasalamat ko na beforehand.
Yeah, it's good to know no, that at least, diba, despite of it all, our families are safe. No, everyone surrounding us also are doing well and fine. But siguro let me ask you, in your farm, Louel, do you plan to take care or let's say have animals surrounding your area or meron na ba dyan? So,
Oo, so actually meron also dito may mga baboy. Tapos may aso na so, naglalakad-lakad sa paligid ng feed ko.
so,
Nandito yung aso. Kasi
uh,
marami kaming aso. So parang tapos yung kasi parang ginol ko rin dito sa may railings ng bahay. So kakagawa lang talaga yung railings ng bahay. Tapos ginol ko din na ano, ginol ko rin na parang dapat maayos yung sa railings kasi gusto kong ano, yung aso ko nakatingin pa tuloy dito sa buko. Nakaliwan yung siya dyan na for as free as he can, as free as they can, parang without the tali kasi doon sa highway, sa bahay ng parents ko, parang nakatali sila kasi nasa highway kami, tapos pag walang tali, tatakbo sila kasi sila
yeah, delikado.
kaya parang kasabal sila sa ano ko dito. Yung pag-aalaga ng bahay.
So actually, Louel, here's my question. This is quite unconventional, no? Because are you a pet lover or do you love pets?
Super.
Okay. So here's my question. Because earlier we were talking about how do we connect with people. So now, no, kasi also me, I just learned how to love pets. Siguro a few years back, and then I got closer to our dog here at home during the pandemic. So how do you talk to these animals even though they don't get to respond to you? So how do you make that connection with them? Kasi somehow, di ba, animals also give us a
Minsan
sense of,
oo, parang
go.
pag may nakakita siguro sa akin, sabihin akong baliw.
Uh,
Ano ko yung aso namin kasi parang hinahag-hag ko. Tapos minsan, hinipan-hipan niya ginaganon. Yung mukha. Tapos, ginaganon ko. Parang ganon. Tapos tinatawag ko.
Actually,
Oh. Pugi, parang ganon. Tinatawag ko ng pugi. Yung ko, aso ko. Kasi pugi naman talaga siya. Tinatawag ko siya. Pugi. Tapos yung aso nagpapakit naman. So, ay, sarap. Lalo sarap. Parang nakakawala na yung stress. Sobrang
yeah.
Kasi, tapos minsan kinakarga ko, gano'n. Yung kinakarga ko. Tapos lalong nagpapakyat pag kinakarga mo, Diyos ko. Nakagana na lang siya para nakatihaya, tapos titingin na lang siya.
Actually, yung sobrang
Nung parang last year, pag-uwi ko dito sa province, parang dati natabi ko siya sa bed. Kaso tapos, yun, uminom kasi ako ng gatas nung parang night, so parang midnight, yung uminom ko, tapos pinainom ko siya, share kami sa kanya. Sita mo na, di ba? Ganon. Tapos pagka morning yan, wala na, gigisingin ako sa bangin niya. Kasi tatalon-talon na siya sa tayo ng bed, parang gusto mo. Yan, so wala. Ganon. Super cute lang talaga.
Nice. So actually, there's a difference now between our relationship with human beings versus our relationship with animals. Also, I think sometimes animals tend to be more anong tawag nito? Sensitive, or I mean, they feel that if we are feeling something within ourselves, they tend to notice, no? And then mas connected with our emotions as well. Kasi parang napapansin ko din sa aso namin, if minsan sobrang stress ko sa work, lalapit lang siya. Tapos parang eventually, titingin lang ako sa kanya. Tapos parang gumagaan din yung feeling ko somehow. Kaya pa nga ngayon, mas na-appreciate ko din yung work from home actually because of this. Ayun. Anyway, sige, actually, Louel, we're down to the last part no, of our discussion. And I actually learned a lot no, from, even though there are times na yung mga sharings mo, you remember something, but I understand those are based on your experiences also. Now, perhaps I want to know what is that one word that you feel is the most powerful word that you have ever spoken in your life, and why do you think so?
Pero wala akong maisip. Specific word ba or
Or let's say a statement, not necessarily a word. So parang it has to be something that you have spoken from your mind that you think is the most powerful that you have ever spoken in your life.
parang ano ba? Ah, napapaisip ako ng sobra. Ang intindi ng mga questions mo. Ang intindi ng mga questions mo. Pero napapaisip ako sa mga pinagsasabi ko tuloy. Ano ba?
Uh,
Ah, ah, siguro yung mga most powerful is, hindi ko na ma-specify or what, parang specific statement. Pero more or parang inspiring words lang siguro sa sa mga mas bata o yung mga staff ko
uh,
kasi parang kasi minsan napapagod sila, na-stress,
uh,
overwhelmed with everything. So what I do is parang try to calm them, parang to parang mag-relax sila, inspire
mm,
them, empower them. Okay lang yan, kaya yan, kung hindi talaga kaya. So, parang parang this week na ata, parang sa call, sabi ko, parang it's okay to feel overwhelmed. So, it's valid naman to feel overwhelmed. So,
yes.
kung masyadong talagang overwhelming, relaxing, kung hindi namin pressure na to finish that one talaga na dapat agad-agad na ganyan. So, sabi ko, kung ano na talaga sobrang stress, overwhelming na talaga ko, hinto kayo. Ikot muna kayo, hinga-hinga, ikot sa bahay, ganun. Sabi ko, ano mo yung kayo sa pets niyo para mawala yung stress niyo.
Yeah. So it's more on really, telling the new generation of
Parang
of
romantic.
CPAs or well, actually, that's powerful, no, that you are able to inspire them and let them know as well that no matter what challenges they encounter, everything shall pass and they will survive them. No?
Mm,
So
nagpasalamat pa nga
perhaps,
yung parang yung isa,
mm,
parang nagpasalamat pa nga yung isang staff kasi sabi niya, thankful daw siya sa akin
uh,
kasi parang kasi parang new hires na sila pang few weeks pa lang. Tapos parang sobrang welcome daw sila, tapos parang may support,
mm,
tapos kasi takot siya kasi baka daw wala siya kausap, wala siyang tapos ako itong parang,
mm,
bongga ng welcome sa kanya, tapos parang talaga, okay lang yan, alma lang kayo dyan, huwag kayong dyan. Kung hindi tayo
nice.
robot, mga tao tayo.
Oo, totoo yan. May limitation tayo. Kailangan natin magpahinga.
Mm.
So, this is my last question. So, what is your message to people who are actually afraid to speak their minds?
For people struggling to speak their mind, I think one thing I can advise is keep trying. So if
Mm,
it's hard at first, parang try to write it down, what's yung mga thoughts na nasa isip mo. Tapos parang
mm,
speak it out loud. So parang kahit sa ikaw lang mismo, parang parang unti-unti na parang magka-confidence ka to really speak your mind. Tapos parang ensure mo lang din na ano din, yung approach mo is parang maayos, hindi naman yung dating na maka naman masyadong ano, hindi na professional. So parang dapat ano pa
Yeah,
rin,
yeah, yeah.
professional. Basta ano lang, believe in yourself, have confidence in
Yeah.
yourself. Yun lang.
Yeah. Thank you, Louel. I appreciate all your ano no, responses and wisdom for tonight's episode. So I actually pray for you that in your role as a leader right now, as a newly promoted ano ba tawag sa'yo? Consulting manager. Ano ba yung tawag sa'yo?
Associate director. Ewan.
Associate director. Anyway, basta yun. AD in consulting. So I pray that you inspire more people, no, and you continue to also speak your mind, no, as long as you know that it is also within your values, your principles, and no, what you actually feel is right, no, the right thing to do. Ayun. So for now, thank you once again, Louel, for taking the time this Saturday for accepting my ambush invitation to talk about the topic. And yeah, I wish you well also no, in the construction of your house. So hopefully, if I get to Cebu
Yeah.
soon, I can actually visit you. Saan ba yan, Louel? Saan ba kayo, Louel?
Northern Cebu. So malapit na to sa mga
Northern
beaches.
Cebu.
So mga a few minutes away na lang sa
Oh,
mga beaches. Oo.
wait lang. Malapit ba kayo sa Malapascua? Hindi naman.
Hindi naman ganun kalapit, pero parang on the way. So madadaanan siya.
Oh, nice, nice.
Siguro mga siguro
O, so baka
mga
nadaanan ko na yan before yung lugar
oo,
niya.
nadaanan mo na. Talaga.
Ah, sige.
Kasi mga
I look forward to
away
going.
from Forte. Parang ganun.
Okay, okay. Yeah. Nice, nice. Sige, let's see if I can go to Cebu. Anyway, sige, Louel, thank you so much
Thank
again
you.
for taking the time tonight. And yeah, hope to see you when I get to, I don't know if you're gonna be in Manila or there in Cebu or wherever. No, but for now, stay safe and healthy and have a good night. Thank you, Louel.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Press X mo lang.
Yes, talaga. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Salamat. Okay. That was Louel Hubay, no? My good friend back in advisory in SGP and Company. It was actually fun discussion with him because I somehow Louel and I also had a good connection when we were working together in SGP, and I really appreciate his truthfulness, no, and authenticity in our discussions. So, and I also hope that he become more successful in his endeavors in life, and for his house construction as well, no? And that he may be able to also fulfill his dream and for his family. So that was it. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's episode 2 of What Do We Get in Speaking Our Mind. Thank you everyone for supporting our episodes here in What Is My Story Today, and we look forward to talk to you again in our episode 3 next Saturday. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.